Okay, it is one of the BPM tool in the market. As we have so many BPM tools are available, so in that Pega is also one of the BPM tool. BPM means business process management. Business process management tool. So what it is a methodology actually. BPM is a methodology where we can uh, improve the performance of the business applications. With the help of this methodology, it improves the performance of the business applications. What are the applications we are going to develop? It improves the performance of the application. It automates the process, automates the work. It improves the redundancy, scalability of the applications. So number of reduction in the errors in the application, redundancy of reduction of errors. So like this, so many features are there in this BPM. Okay, and Pega comes under this BPM category. And apart from the Pega, we have some other BPM tools also available, like Oracle BPM, Lombard, then AL BPM, JBPM, Savvy, Epion. So like that, so many tools are there, and Pega also comes under the same category. But when we compare this Pega with other tools in the market, Pega is most advanced in, so there is no competition to this Pega BPM. So Pega is the most advanced and it's have more number of features when we compare with other tools in the market. So other tools don't have what are the features we got in Pega BPM. So those are just acts as a simply saying those other tools they can act as a middleware tools. So the functionality is very limited when we compare with Pega BPM. The other tools functionality is very limited there. But using the Pega, it has vast features and vast functionalities are there. I will tell you what are the functionalities and what we can do using the Pega BPM tool. Okay, leave about them. Though we cannot compare in the Pega in the BPM market, there is no other tool competition to this Pega BPM. Okay, coming to the Pega tool, it is a Java based application. Pega is a Java based application, but don't worry, means this total Pega tool is designed using the Java language. In the backend, this total Pega tool is designed using Java. But at the time of developing any application in Pega environment, we will not write any coding. Only in the backend, the Pega tool is designed using the Java language. But at the front end, at the time of designing the applications, we are not going to use any Java code. Okay. And another thing is in Pega, okay, another main purpose of this tool is for developing web applications, any web-based applications. So it also supports any type of domain, banking, healthcare, finance, insurance, okay, marketing, any type of web applications we can design and develop using the Pega, this Pega tool. Actually, it is not a language. Pega is a tool, and Java is a language. Okay, so don't confuse. Pega is just a tool. We cannot call it as a Pega is not a language here. And another thing is in Pega, in the backend, so how we can develop the application means Pega contains Pega rules will be there. In the tool itself, Pega contains some inbuilt rules. Okay, those are called as Pega rules. Normally, if you have some idea about the Java, in Java normally if you want to develop an application, there we are going to use libraries. Okay, what are the libraries we are calling in Java? Same thing we can call as Pega rules in Pega technology. In the Pega tool, we used to call them as Pega rules. Means these are all nothing but some libraries or classes. We can also call them as libraries or classes. Okay, all these Pega rules are inbuilt in the Pega tool itself. And for storing all these rules, what are the classes or libraries I'm saying? For storing all these things, there is one thing called process commander. There is one thing called process commander, which is a store. In order to store all the Pega rules in the Pega tool, process commander is some storage engine or some storage memory will be inbuilt in the Pega tool. So we used to call it as process commander. Okay, finally this total Pega is also called as a, we can also call this Pega tool as PRPC tool. So the total abbreviation of this PRPC is Pega rules process commander. Okay, we can also call the Pega as either Pega BPM or Pega PRPC tool. So anything is same only, don't get confused. So totally we can call Pega as a Pega PRPC BPM tool. Okay, overall this Pega we used to call it as Pega PRPC BPM tool. And this total Pega BPM PRPC tool is a product of Pega systems. So it is a product of the Pega systems. So they don't have any other products. Pega is the only product they have. And using this Pega we can develop any type of web applications without writing any coding here. See, normally at the time of developing applications we will not write any code. Everything is available in the tool itself. What are the things required for developing an application? All the resources, all the available functionalities, controls, methods. So everything, what not everything is available in the tool itself. Okay, what everything we used to call them as Pega rules. Okay, using those predefined Pega rules, we are going to develop our own user-defined rules. Again, in Pega terminology, whatever you are developing at the time of developing an application, we can call them as again user-defined rules. Okay, using the existing classes or anything, again we will be developing our own user-defined rules. Okay, that one we'll see later. And another thing is, when we compare this Pega with a Java language, okay, because we don't have any other competition in the BPM market, so I can say so only competition is Java language. But when we compare with the Java, we have so many advantages over the Java and Pega. Okay, I will tell you some sample differences. Okay, normally in Java also we can develop web applications. In Pega also we can develop web applications. Okay, same thing whatever we can do in Java language, we can also do in Pega also. Okay, for example, so take one finance application. So same thing we can also develop in Java and also in Pega. In Java we will use as object-oriented libraries. For developing an application we used to call as object-oriented libraries. The same thing in Pega we used to call as object-oriented rules. Okay, just the terminology is different here. In Java we used to develop application using the libraries. In Pega we used to develop using the rules. Another difference is, in Java the development time and the production cost and manpower, so all these will take, so it will take, for example, in Java if it is taking some 1 year time for developing this application, in Pega we can complete the same thing with 6 months or 8 months. Here in Pega the development time is very less and the production costs are very less, and the manpower also when we compare with the Java it will take less manpower. Okay, overall the production costs and development time and manpower is very less when we compare with the Java language. So that is one of the main difference. And also when we compare with the maintenance costs, the maintenance costs also very less in Pega tool. It will save around 50 to 60% of the costs whatever we are spending on the Java language. So that is the main difference. And another thing is, when coming to the performance wise and security wise, it is better than the Java language. So when we compare both this language, Java language and Pega tool, so Pega is having better performance. It gives better performance and more security than the Java language. And some other advantages like setups, database setup and web services setup. When we take the Java, so we need to manually configure the database and any type of web services you want to connect, so there also we need to manually configure. But in Pega, the database setup is created automatically. Means there is no need to manually create the setup. I will tell you how to do that. And same with the case with the web service also. So all the connectors and services are available in the Pega tool itself. So the process is very easy here when we compare with other languages. In Pega, if you want to connect to any web service, the process becomes very easy here. So here also the connection is created or the setup is created automatically. No need to manually configure any service or any database. Okay, these are some of the major differences between these two, Pega tool and Java language. So in every scenario, so there is some advantages when we compare with the Java language. So now every company is switching to the Pega only. So instead of developing in the Java, so they are switching to the Pega environment. Okay, then so the overall production wise, cost wise, so it will be both benefit for both the clients and the organizations. Okay, nowadays, so all the projects are built in the Pega only. And coming to the Pega installation or Pega software, what are the things you are getting at the time of Pega software installation? Normally when we install the Pega software, the Pega software is a package of three things. One is it installs Java, it installs one database and one application server. Okay, these three comes as a package when we install the Pega software. And Pega contains two types of editions are there. One is personal edition and another one is enterprise edition. Okay, in the personal edition, both are same only, the options and everything is same only. In the real-time environment we will use enterprise edition. For normal practice purpose, if you want to install in your system, we can go with the personal edition. Okay, but options wise both are same only. I will tell you what are the difference between the personal and enterprise. In the personal edition, we will get default database and default server. Normally Pega supports all databases and all the servers available in the market. But when we install the personal edition, you will be getting the default database and default server. For example, if we install the personal edition software, it will get Java installed in the backend, and database will be PostgRE SQL database by default we'll get, and server will be Tomcat server. But in the enterprise edition, you can choose the required server and required database. But in the personal edition, you will not get any option to choose the server or database. Here by default in the personal edition you will be getting the default database and default server. But in the enterprise edition, the server and database you can choose according to the application requirement. Okay, that is the only difference. And another thing is, in Pega no need to have any database knowledge. See, I said Pega supports all the databases, right? So then you will be worrying if we need to get the database knowledge for connecting or mapping to the database. Here the thing is, any database use, we will be not writing any queries. We are not going to write any queries here. Normally the process of mapping the data, like, so there will be two types of classes will be there, work class and data class. So data class means where under that we will create all the tables and all. Work class means where we will design the total application. So whenever you want to provide the mapping between the work class and the data class, so we are going to use the methods. Instead of writing the queries in Pega, we are going to use the methods. Pega contains some around 130 methods or that. Any functionality or any mapping or any logical thing if you want to add, we are going to use methods only. We are not going to add any queries. Even if you use Oracle database, SQL server, PGSQL, universal database, the process will be same for all the databases. So that is the reason. Don't worry about the database. Any database, the creation of tables or inserting or fetching or deleting the data. So everything in every data table, the process will be same. Suppose if you are doing using the PGS scale, even if you use Oracle also, you will get the same process. You will follow the same process. Okay, don't worry about the database or server. So the process server means here this is application server. So we will be working on the internet in the personal edition. So in the external, in the enterprise edition, so they will give the external server. So which Pega systems will maintain that server. Okay, that one also. It also supports like WebLogic, it supports WebSphere, it supports. Like based on the size of the application, we need to go with the available server actually. But in the personal edition, by default you will get Tomcat server. In the enterprise edition, you can choose your required server based on the size of the application. Okay, this is the difference. So only difference between these two is all the options in the tool are same only in both the editions. Only difference is you will have the default database and default server. Okay, but in the enterprise edition you can select your own database and own server according to your requirement, project requirement. Okay, that is the only difference between the personal edition and enterprise edition. And coming to the system requirements, if you want to install the Pega software in your system, the minimum system requirements are coming to the OS Windows 7 or Windows 8 operating system, and it must be 64-bit operating system. Windows 7 or Windows 8, 64-bit operating system. Okay, that is the required OS, supported OS. And coming to the RAM size, 2 GB RAM.
So it cannot support a MacBook, means Mac.
If you have a Mac, means you need to install the VMware, and then you can install the. You need to.
Okay, I need to install the VMware, then I can install the.
Then you can install the software.
Okay, great. So after that there is no difference, right? For Mac.
No difference will be there. No difference will be there.
Okay, thank you.
Then in the C drive you must have around 10 GB free space, because it will take around 5 to 8 GB space for the Pega, and remaining 3 or 4 GB for what are the things you are creating in the application. So that space is required. Overall, make sure 10 GB free space must be there in the C drive. Okay, this is the basic requirements. Anyone can install the software. Okay, we'll see the installation some other session. And coming to the some of the main features of this Pega. Okay, what are the things you can do, and what are the different, what are the main features we got in the Pega BPM tool. The thing is here, once after installing the Pega software, okay, no need to install any other tool. Everything comes with the Pega tool itself. Means all the things are integrated in the tool itself. So it means what are the things you want to perform, like designing, development, administration, security, then testing. All these things can be done in the same Pega tool. No need to install any other tool apart from the Pega BPM. And means simply saying it provides end-to-end solutions. So whatever said means what are the things we can do, everything can be done in the same tool itself. That is one of the main feature. And some other features like it supports all the databases and servers. Excuse me. Give me a second, guys. It is going to support all the databases and servers available in the market. Next, another important thing is the user interface design. See, normally for designing the user interface, like for designing the forms, Pega contains all the controls. Means no need to design any code or no need to write any code. What are the controls available? So using those controls we can design the total UI. Means the total user interface design will be like drag and drop. So just you have to select the required option, or you have to select the particular option, like point and click and drag and drop will be there. Means first of all, at the property level itself, we will create all the things. Means we'll give the mode of the property, behavior of the property, control of the property. Okay, any static values or any dynamic values we can give there, and directly we'll drag that property in the user interface. It contains different types of layouts will be there. So just we need to create a property and drag and drop that property in the user interface. Okay, the task becomes very easy here. So when we compare, if you want to design a form, so normally it will takes very less time when we compare with any programming languages like Java. Or when we compare with any programming language, it takes very less time for designing the user interface. Okay, that is one of the main feature. And another thing is, main thing is web services part. So already I told you. So again, web services means, so it is the best tool to build web services, because all the things, all the connectors, all the services are inbuilt in the Pega tool itself. Directly we need to so no need to manually configure. So automatically it will create a setup and we can directly connect to the metadata types. So there will be different metadata types will be there whenever we use the connectors like Java, SQL, .NET, EJB, web and SOAP services like WSTL, like so many services meta types will be there. So directly we can give the available URLs or endpoint URLs, or we can directly provide the methods and we can directly configure them. No need to manually configure any web services. Okay, these are some of the important features in the Pega BPM. And coming to the tool, if you want to see the tool, and see, once after installing the software, it will create these icons in the desktop. So already, so software is installed here. So one is login icon, shutdown icon, and startup icon. Actually the first thing is, if you want to log into the Pega tool, we need to start the server. Then we need to click on the login icon. It will open the login page where we need to enter some credentials. So the user ID and password we need to enter. And for logging for the Pega BPM, if you are installed the software for the first time, there will be some default user ID will be there. That is administrator@pega.com, which is the default user ID, and password is install is the password. Okay, using the default user ID and password, we can log into the Pega BPM tool. Okay, see, once already server is started here in my system. Already server is started.
Sorry, in the icon you have mentioned something 63 SP. What exactly is that one?
That is the version number.
Oh, okay. SP1 is the service pack one, right?
Yeah, service pack 1.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, already server is started here. So if you want to start the server, you have to click on this icon, server startup. It will take around 3 minutes time it will take. Already it is started in my system. So you have to keep it open. You have to minimize. Once the server is started, you have to minimize that one and click on the login icon. Okay, it will open the login page. It will ask for user ID and password. I told you, right, the default password for login is administrator@pega.com. Install is the password.
This is an open source tool or
No, Pega is not a open source. Not a open source. It requires license. You can use the personal edition. Normally it is very, they will strictly maintain. You should not. We should not teach the Pega outside. In the classroom training, we should not provide for Pega.
Oh, okay.
It's a strict. They will maintain it strictly, very strictly. They will maintain. Say not
Okay.
open source. So normally we should take the training only from the Pega systems. We can, so they will provide online training is not a problem. So generally, so only Pega systems must provide the training on Pega. Okay, it's a 2-week program. So they will charge around 1.5 lakh for that. So if you want to learn the same thing, whatever.
So in India?
Yeah, India or anywhere in the US, anywhere in the country. So there will be some centers will be there. If you want to learn, it's a 1 week program, so they will charge around 1.5 lakh for that.
Okay, okay.
If you want to learn from the Pega system, so the content will be same only. So no difference in the content. So here, so you'll not only major theoretical part they will cover. Okay, some programs will be there, automatic PDF, some documents will be there. You have to prepare them. So it's a practically very less thing will be there. Okay,
Okay, got it.
okay. This is the home page, and see if you want to start an application in the Pega BPM. Normally we need to create some setups. So before starting, if you want to start a new application or build a new application, we need to create some setup. So that one in the real time, these setups will be created by the business analyst. Okay, first of all, I'll tell you one thing. In Pega, there will be different types of roles will be there. Like administrator is one role, manager is another role, business analyst, then system architect. Okay, these are the 4 types of roles available in Pega. Administrator means, so he will have some portal for that, admin portal will be there. Manager will have work manager portal, he will monitor the total application. And business analyst will have business analyst portal. And system architect is nothing but developers. Okay, they will have developer portal. Okay, these are the different types of users available in Pega. So normally we comes under developers. Okay, and
So
any
where testing team will come? Where testing team will come? Which portal?
testing team, so there will not be a separate testing team in Pega. Whoever the developers, so they will only work as the testers also. Separate
Okay.
testing team will not be there. So because here we'll be having some inbuilt tools, right? Using the inbuilt
Mm-hmm.
tools only will provide the testing and debugging. The developers
Okay.
only will do the testing part. So whoever creating the application, so they will test their own part. So there will not be a separate team of testers. So that's the thing. So there will not be separate softwares for testing or anything. So Pega tool itself will be having some inbuilt tools. We can use them for testing, and there will not be separate testing team. The developers only involved in the testing part. So actually it's a simple thing. So testing is not a major thing here. So it's a very simple thing. So I'll tell you in the coming sessions. Okay. So system architect means nothing but developers. So they'll have a developer portal for them. Okay, like this 4 types of users will be there. And see. So if you want to create anything or build a new application, the first thing we need to create is we need to do the organization setup. There is one thing called organization setup. Okay, when they create this organization setup, so it will create some basic things required for starting an application, and after that we have to create a class. Pega also contains one thing called, so like work class we have to create, and we can also call it as class group, or we can also call as work pool. Okay, there is one thing called class group or work pool. Okay, these 2 things we need to create for starting an application. In the real time, in the enterprise applications, when you go to the real time, these 2 things will be created by the business analyst, but in the personal edition we have to create by ourselves, because without creating this setup and class group we cannot start the application. Okay, that is the reason in the personal edition we will be doing the organization setup and class group. Okay, and once these 2 things are created, so we can start our application by creating all the rules. And see here what are the things we can create in the application. Actually this is a sample application, and this is a class. I'm saying right, class group. This is a class group. Pega sample is a default class group, and we have to create our own class group name. So when we start our own application, we have to create our own class group. Okay, we can also call it as a work class. Under the work class only we can create all these rules. Data model is one rule, process is one rule, decision is one rule, user interface, integrations, reports, technical, security. So all these things we can create under the, what are the work class we create, under that we can create all these rules. Okay, if you want to create any rule, we have to right click on the work class, go to new category. Under this we have all the categories. Data model, under the data model all the properties creation will be there. Under the process category all the structural designing, correspondence, service levels, validations, work parties will be there. Under the decision category all the things related to the conditions, like decision tree is one format, constraints is validations again, decision table is one conditional format, declare expressions, we can define expressions, and declare a on change is one type of condition, triggers, hierarchy, when conditions, all this comes under the, so any conditions if you want to add on your properties, so these are all the different types. And user interface, it is mainly for the design purpose. Okay, using all these rules we can design our forms. And integration connectors, okay, these are all the supported available connectors in the Pega tool itself. According to the requirement we can use any type of connectors, mapping, resources, integration services. Okay, all the things are inbuilt in the Pega tool itself. And reports, we can also generate some basic to advanced reports in the Pega tool itself. And under the technical category we will be having all the predefined methods. Okay, if you want to use the methods in the application, we will do it from the technical category. And from security, so we can provide security within the application, so who can access which rule, so all the security related things can be provided from this thing. Organization contains all the IDs, user ID names, so different all the organization means related to the all the user IDs. And sysadmin, actually it's administration, all the things related to the administrator will be available under the sysadmin category. But some things developers also will do. I'll tell you what are the things we are going to create under the sysadmin. Application definition is, so just a overview of your application. So we will not use this one, don't worry. Okay, these are some of the available categories. So anything you want to create means you will be creating from the new only. So you have to go to new. So any of this, select any of this category and we have to click on this rule name. So automatically it will create a window and it will save the property under the data model here. Okay, so actually this is a default one. When we want to start a new application, we need to create our own setup, means own class group we have to create. Under that we will be creating all the rules. Okay, so this is the basic introduction on the Pega. Okay, if you have any queries now you can ask me. So the overall course duration will be for 35 days. See, and you will be getting all the documents related to the Pega and all the video classes. So daily, what are the session you have listened, so you will get the total recording of the session. And what are the, so once after the training, so you can complete the certification with the what are the training you got, you can complete the certification. There will be CSA certification, you can easily complete that certification. I will give all the dumps also, certification dumps. And another thing is you will get the resume preparation, so get all the resumes. And okay, so overall support, so all the assistants will be there. So once after the training, if you want to ask anything you can ask me now. Any queries?
So what is CSA? What is CSA? I saw on the online PRPC, right?
Sorry,
The certification which you told CSA, which is, this is related to Pega certification?
yeah, Pega only. We used
Because
to
in online I saw, on the online I saw PRPC certification, something like that.
see, Pega or PRPC is everything is same only. So the normally the code of the certification is CSA, Certified System Architect. So normally the thing is,
Okay.
so Pega is a PRPC. So we can call it as Pega PRPC BPM tool, right? So PRPC is just only code. CSA is the code of the exam. CSA is the exam code actually.
Okay, so you said that you have done and I can, so we can.
Oh yeah, once the training is done, you can easily, so by referring all the documents which I sent to you, you can easily complete that exam.
Okay, great. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, because all
So
the questions will be theoretical questions only you'll get. 90% theoretical questions only you'll get in the exam. So it's a very
So
easy exam.
theoretical,
Yeah, major
theoretical.
in the CSC you'll get only theoretical questions.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions you can ask?
Yeah, I have few questions. Okay, sorry, I think someone is speaking. Sorry.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Rudra.
Okay.